Yes, hi friends. Welcome to our GST class. In the last class, we are discussing something regarding the value of supply. We had started with section 15. We started with section 15, subsection 1. Let us fast revise what we were discussing in the last class. What was section 15, subsection 1 telling? Section 15.1 was saying that the value of supply is nothing but transaction value. What do you mean by transaction value? Transaction value means price actually paid or payable. But this normal rule will not be applicable in two scenarios. What are the two scenarios? Where the supplier and the recipient are related person. Last class માં મેં તમને કીધું હતું કે ભાઈ related person ની definition આપણે next lecture માં ભણશું. So today we'll be learning what is related person. Second, when the price is the sole consideration. When the price is not the sole consideration. If buyer and seller are related person and price is not the sole consideration, then this rule will not apply. Otherwise, it will be applicable. Yes, I will request everyone to open your modules. Please come to page number 5.52. Yes, I am again reading 15.1. The value of supply of goods or services or both shall be the transaction value, which is price actually paid or payable for the said supply of goods or services or both, where the supplier and the recipient of the supply are not related and price is the sole consideration for supply. So that was what we were discussing. Yes, now मैं તમને કાલે એક્ઝામ્પલ આપ્યું હતું what do you mean by price being the sole consideration કે ભાઈ તમે જ્યારે કોઈ ટ્રાન્ઝેક્શન કરો છો ત્યારે એ સપ્લાય માટે ખાલી તમને પ્રાઇસ જ મળે છે, પૈસા જ મળે છે, તો that is price is the sole consideration. એની જોડે જોડે જો તમને બીજું કોઈ નોન મોનેટરી કન્સિડરેશન ફ્લો થતું હોય તો this normal rule will not be applicable. Second, we are supposed to learn what is related person. Friends, if you remember, related person પહેલા પણ આવી ગયેલું છે like શેડ્યુલ 1 જ્યારે આપણે સેક્શન 7 ડિસ્કસ કરતા હતા ત્યારે શેડ્યુલ 1 માં પણ આવ્યું હતું કે રિલેટેડ પર્સન કે ડીમ ડિસ્ટિંક્ટ પર્સન ને તમે જો વિધાઉટ કન્સિડરેશન પણ સપ્લાય પ્રોવાઈડ કરો તો ઇટ ઇઝ સપ્લાય. સો ત્યારે મેં તમને કીધું હતું કે ભાઈ રિલેટેડ પર્સન ની ડેફિનેશન આપણે પછી ડિસ્કસ કરશું. In that, what has happened is related person has not been defined in section 2, but it has been given as an explanation to section 15. I would request everyone to come to page number 5.54. We are starting with the definition of related person. Explanation. For the purpose of this act, a person shall be deemed to be related person if 1. Such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. 2. Such persons are legally recognized partners in the business. 3. Such persons are employer and employee. 4. Any person directly or indirectly owns, controls or holds 25% or more of outstanding voting stock or shares of both of them. One of them directly or indirectly controls the other. Both of them are directly or indirectly controlled by a third person. Together they directly or indirectly control a third person, or they are members of the same family. Yes friends, now let us take examples of each and every situation and understand each and every part of the definition. So let us start with the examples one by one. Such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. So, what they are saying that say there is one business ran by Mr. X and there is one business ran by Mr. Y. Now, Mr. Y is working as an officer an officer in company of Mr. X, and somewhere Mr. X is also appointed as an officer or a director or a manager in the business of Mr. Y. Then what they are saying is Mr. X and Y are related person. I hope this is fine. Yes, I would request everyone to write down each and every examples so that it is easy for you to remember. Yes. Then the next point. Such persons are legally recognized partners in business. Such persons are legally recognized partners. A very simple thing. Say there is a partnership firm ABC and company. Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C are three partners of this firm. Then what the definition is saying? A, B and C are related person. Yes, I hope this is fine. Next. Such persons are employer and employee. A very simple thing. An employee is always related to employer. So, there is, say, a company, Lakshya Academy Private Limited, and there is an employee, Meet Parekh. Then what this definition is saying? Lakshya Academy and Meet Parekh are related person. I hope this is fine. Further, any person directly or indirectly owns, controls or holds 25% or more of the outstanding voting stock or shares of both of them. Yes, what they are saying, say there are two companies, and any one person is holding the shares of more than 25%. For example, say there is ABC Private Limited and there is XYZ Private Limited. One person, that is, say Meet Parekh, is holding 35% stock voting power in ABC Private Limited and 40% voting stock in XYZ Private Limited. Again, see, I am reading the definition portion. Any person directly or indirectly owns, controls or hold. So, Meet Parekh, any person can be directly or indirectly holding more than 25% of outstanding voting stock or shares of both of them. मतलब कोई भी कंपनी, कोई भी फर्म ना 25% करता वोटिंग पावर्स कोई एक इंडिविजुअल पासे होय, then these two are related person. I hope this is fine. These two are related person. Is it clear? Yes. Further, one of them directly or indirectly controls the other. For example, say there is one subsidiary private limited. This subsidiary private limited is a subsidiary of holding limited and 90% of the shares are with holding limited. Then holding limited and subsidiary private limited are related person. Now Meet Parekh, an individual, is holding 90% shares of holding limited. Meet Parekh, an individual, is holding 90% shares of holding limited. Then Meet Parekh is indirectly controlling subsidiary private limited. Yes, obviously Meet Parekh is a related party to holding limited because Meet Parekh is directly exercising control over holding limited. But Meet Parekh is also exercising indirect control over subsidiary private limited. I hope you are getting this. then Meet Parekh and subsidiary private limited are related person. See, this indirect link is practically difficult to be traced. In real life, the indirect link is practically difficult to be linked. We should be careful while analyzing this situation. So, if Meet Parekh and subsidiary private limited are related person, then the transaction value concept will not be applicable. I hope this is fine. Further, both of them are directly or indirectly controlled by a third person. Yes. Say ABC and Company is a partnership firm where 60% of the share is with Meet Parekh, and there is DEF Limited where 35% of the shares, or we can say even 51%, because the definition of control is not absolutely clear, but let us assume the control of DEF Limited is with Meet Parekh. Then ABC and Company and DEF Limited are related person. See, as far as point number 5 is concerned, Meet Parekh and ABC Limited, ABC and Company are related person. Why? Because Meet Parekh is exercising direct control over ABC and Company. ABC and Company and DEF Limited are also related person because a third person, Meet Parekh, is exercising control directly or indirectly over ABC and Company and DEF Limited. I hope this is fine. So again, be very careful while deciding the related person. Together, they directly or indirectly control a third person. Yes. So there is one company, say ABC Limited. There is another company, DEF Limited. They are entering into a joint venture type category where they are forming XYZ Limited. Same, 50% of the stock is with ABC Limited, and DEF Limited is also holding 50% of the stock of XYZ Limited. So they directly are controlling an entity that is XYZ Limited. So what they are saying is ABC and DEF, please mark where ABC and DEF, if they are jointly controlling XYZ, then they are related person. So if two people are jointly controlling a third entity, then that two people will be a related person. If a person is controlling two different entities, then that two entities are also related person. I hope you are clear, absolutely clear with all the 7 points. Yes. Then the 8th one, they are members of the same family. If you are member of the same family, then you are related person. See, the definition of family is not given in this chapter. I would request you, I am dictating the definition, you just write down in your book. The definition of family is given in section 2, subsection 49. Family means 1. The spouse and the children of the person, and 2. The parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters of the person if they are wholly or mainly dependent on the said person. So it has two parts. Family means 1. Your spouse and the children, 2. Your parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, but with a condition that they are wholly and mainly dependent on the said person. Yes, let us analyze a bit this definition. See, the definition of family has two parts. One, that your spouse and children are always your family. So, for example, for Meet Parekh, his spouse, yes, Mrs. Parekh, will always be family, and their children would always be family. So, Meet Parekh na family માં હંમેશા Mrs. Parekh એના family member જ થશે, and એના children હંમેશા family જ થશે. So, this is an absolute definition. Second, what they are saying, parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, if dependent. This if wholly dependent on the person. Now it brings in an interesting situation. Like my father, his name is Pradeep Bhai Parekh. Yes, for the family of Mr. Meet Parekh, Pradeep Parekh would be included if Pradeep Parekh is dependent on Meet Parekh. Interestingly, he is not dependent on me. He is having his own earnings and he is independent. So, as far as the definition of family of Mr. Meet Parekh is concerned, Pradeep Parekh is not included. But on the other side, in the family of Mr. Pradeep Parekh, Meet Parekh will always be included. So, that's a very ironical definition, that for the family of Mr. Pradeep Parekh, Meet Parekh is included. But in the family of Meet Parekh, Pradeep Parekh is not included. Very ironical. Now, there is a bit twist with the definition. What they are saying, they would be treated as related person if they are members of the same family. If I am a member of a particular family, then all the person in that family shall be treated as related person. So, I believe that Mr. Pradeep Parekh, father of Meet Parekh, would always be a family member and be related person. I always believe that Pradeep Parekh would be a related person to Meet Parekh. Yes, secondly, brothers and sisters if dependent. Now what they are saying, that let us take one more example. Say Pradeep Parekh is having two children, say Meet Parekh and Hardik Parekh. Yes. Now, in the family of Pradeep Parekh, Meet Parekh is included, Hardik Parekh is included. So they are members of the same family and they are related person. Now, if we decide the family of Meet Parekh ની ફેમિલીમાં કોણ ઇન્ક્લુડ થશે? સ્પાઉસ, મિસિસ પારેખ and children. Hardik Parekh would not be included. If you see in the definition of family for Meet Parekh, Hardik Parekh would not be included because he is my brother who is not dependent on me. I hope this is fine. But now, if we see that definition of related person, and it says that if you are member of a same family, then you are related person whose family is not given. So, Meet Parekh and Hardik Parekh are member of same family of Mr. Pradeep Parekh. They become related person. And if we go by this definition, Meet Parekh na family ma Hardik Parekh include nahi tha. So they are not the family member. See, there is a bit of confusion, but I believe parents and brothers and sisters would, real brothers and sisters would always be included in the definition of related person, because the words used are members of the same family. જો તમે એક જ ફેમિલી ના members હો તો you are related person. They are not saying કે ઈ person ના family માં જે લોકો આવે છે related person છે. So if you are members of the same family, you are related person. Yes, let us once again have a look at the definition part. What they are saying, the person shall be deemed to be related person if they are members of the same family. So I believe a brother and parents would always be included in the definition of related person. Yes, I always say મીત પારેખના ફેમિલીમાં હાર્દિક પારેખ નહીં આવે, મીત પારેખના ફેમિલીમાં પ્રદીપ પારેખ નહીં આવે. But the question is whether they are related person. The answer is yes, because in the family of Pradeep Parekh, Meet Parekh and Hardik Parekh are included. Hence they turn out to be the members of same family. So for Meet Parekh, his father and his brother would always be treated as a related person. Now as far as your institute is concerned, the module is having some difference of opinion. We'll be discussing some time later કે module માં શું કહે છે. Institute is also having some different approach. In one answer they are saying that brother is not a related person. In another answer they are saying that brother is a related person. But I believe that brother is always a related person or father is always a related person. I hope this much is fine. Yes, so that was all with the definition of related person. Related person ભણવું શું કામ જરૂરી છે? એક જ રીઝન થી. જો related person હશે કોણ? સપ્લાયર અને recipient, તો the normal rule of transaction value will not be applicable. I hope this is fine. Yes. Now we are moving ahead with section 15 subsection 2. Yes friends, let us start the discussion with 15 subsection 2. The value of supply shall include, yes, very importantly, 15.2 શું discuss કરે છે? 15.2 discuss કરે છે what are the specific inclusions in the value. 15.2 શું discuss કરે છે? What are the specific inclusions in the value of supply. Let us first read, then we'll discuss. The value of supply shall include A. Any duties, any taxes, duties, cess, fees and charges levied under any law for the time being in force other than this Act, State GST Act, UT GST Act, and Goods and Service Tax Compensation to State Act if charged separately by the supplier. B. Any amount that the supplier is liable to pay in relation to such supply, but which has been incurred by the recipient of the supply and not included in the price actually paid or payable for the goods or services or both. Incidental expenses including commission and packing charged by the supplier to the recipient of a supply and any amount charged for anything done by the supplier in respect of supply of goods or services or both at the time of or before the delivery of goods or supply of service. Interest or late fee or penalty for delayed payment of any consideration for any supply, and E. Subsidies directly linked to the price excluding subsidies provided by the central government and state governments. Explanation. For the purpose of this subsection, the amount of subsidy shall be included in the value of the supplier who receives the subsidy. I hope this is fine. Yes, let us start one by one. First, any taxes, duties, cess, fees and charges levied under any law for the time being in force other than this Act, the State GST Act, UT GST Act, and the GST Compensation to State Act if charged separately by the supplier. Yes, clause A. What clause A is saying? All duties, taxes, cess, etc. shall be included. Let us take one example. Say for example, most of the duties and taxes now have been subsumed in GST, but let us take one practical example. Say I am selling tobacco. On tobacco, I am selling of 100 rupees. Then there is a duty known as NCCT. This is one type of excise. It has still not been abolished and it is leviable on tobacco products. It is 25 rupees. Now comes the question of charging GST. 1. Clause A is very clear that you need not include GST in the value of supply. Now that is very obvious. You cannot include it in the value of supply. मतलब GST ऊपर GST लगाड़वानो तो कोई प्रश्न ज नहीं आवतो. So GST is not to be included. When I say GST, it includes C plus S. Yes. So that is absolutely clear कि by GST, maybe CGST, maybe SGST, maybe UTGST or cess, whatever it may be, it shall not be included in the value of supply. Why it shall not be included? It is very obvious कि जे tax लगाड़वानो છે, ई tax तो value માં ન જ include થાય. Now here the question comes. Say the rate of GST is 28%. The rate of GST is 28%. So the question is whether 28% is to be charged on 100 or 125. Yes, GST law is absolutely clear that it should be charged on 125. Hence, the total amount of GST would turn out to be 35. I hope this is absolutely clear. So, the total comes to 160. If you are selling anything, if you are supplying anything, and on that supply any tax, any duty, cess, any other tax is to be collected, then that shall be included in the value of supply. Only one tax is not to be included, and that is GST. I hope you are absolutely clear with clause A. Yes or no? So if any other tax, yes, this is a fact. On this date, on present date, NCCT નામનો એક tax હજુ પણ પિક્ચરમાં છે. It is applicable. It's one type of excise duty. તો tobacco sellers માટે શું થશે? 100 rupees basic price, એની ઉપર 25 rupees they need to charge NCCT, and then on 125 entire amount they need to charge GST. I hope this is fine. Yes. Now that was with clause A. Now there is one circular issued in reference to clause A. I would request everyone to come to page number 5.58. I am reading it, the last paragraph in bold. The CBIC with circular number 7650/2018 GST dated 31/12/2018 amended with corrigendum dated 7/3/19 has clarified that for the purpose of determination of value of supply under GST, tax collected at source under the provision of the Income Tax Act 1961 would not be included, as it is an interim levy not having the character of tax. Yes friends, you may be knowing or you may not be knowing the concept of TCS. TCS શું છે? તો કે ભાઈ એક ઇન્કમ ટેક્સ નું પ્રોવિઝન છે. ઇન્કમ ટેક્સ નું સિમ્પલ પ્રોવિઝન હું તમને કહું તો say you are selling scrap for 100 rupees. Say there is no GST. GST છે જ નહીં. તો what this provision says is, say Mr. A is supplier and Mr. B is recipient. Now please understand what ઇન્કમ ટેક્સ લોસ ઇઝ કે જો તમે સ્ક્રેપ વેચો છો, સે યુ આર સેલિંગ, મિસ્ટર એ ઇઝ સેલિંગ સ્ક્રેપ ટુ મિસ્ટર બી, તો મિસ્ટર એ 1 રૂપી એક્સ્ટ્રા લેશે કોની પાસેથી? મિસ્ટર બી પાસેથી. ટોટલ કેટલા રૂપીસ લેશે? 101. એન્ડ મિસ્ટર એ needs to deposit this 1 rupees to the government, yes, as income tax for Mr. B. मतलब मिस्टर बी ने ई 1 रुपयानी क्रेडिट મળી જશે. So this is one type of tax which was to be paid by Mr. B is now paid by Mr. A. So what happened with the law is, what happened in the law is કે ડિસેમ્બરમાં એક સર્ક્યુલર બહાર પાડ્યું કે ભાઈ TCS shall be included in the value of supply. Say you are selling scrap for rupees 100, you collect 1 rupee at TCS, and on 101 you charge GST at the rate of say 18%. Then again in the month of March, department itself clarified, a corrigendum was issued, and what they told is that this TCS is not any type of tax. It is not a tax which is levied. It is nothing but Mr. A is paying the tax of Mr. B. Hence a corrigendum was issued. અને શું કીધું કે say you are selling same scrap for rupees 100, then you need not add TCS on it, and GST તમારે કલેક્ટ કરવાનું રહેશે at the rate of 18%, that is 18 rupees, and then you can collect TCS at the rate of whatever specified percent, may it be 1%. I hope the circular is absolutely clear and clause number A is absolutely clear. Yes friend, so now we are keeping up till here today. In the next class we'll be starting with clause number B to E, and will also finish subsection 3. So that will be all with valuation of supply. It will also solve certain questions. So that's all for today. I would request everyone that before starting with the next class, you please read once the explanation given in the module regarding clause A, B, C, D, E and the subsection 3. So it would be easy for you to understand. So that's my request. Thank you very much all of you, and stay home.